because of Mrs. Thatcher.
You do not know.
Because of Mrs. Thatcher.
No.
She closed the mine. She
Don't
destroyed
talk
the
about
mine.
what you don't know.
I know, I was here.
No, you
stupid
don't.
woman.
I was up there.
I was here.
I was up there.
And I was
I
here.
belong up there.
I have a television.
I come from a mining family, both sides.
Oh,
So
right.
I know the poison.
Oh, good.
of the mine.
Why you didn't go to Trafalgar Square yesterday?
Because the miners destroyed themselves.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they
No,
did.
they did
I
not.
was there.
They did not.
I was
No,
there.
they did not. They did not.
Poisoned lefties with a chip on their shoulder about the working
Thousands
class,
of people
the class
lost their
war.
jobs.
They were nothing but Bolshevik puppets who wanted to bring down this government.
No, yes.
And what did they
Why
ask
not?
for? In the 70s, when wages are low, the miners wanted £100 a week. We couldn't afford it. And Arthur Scargill, the leader, was a non-communist, and it was known.
He was
that
not
he
a
was down to
communist.
bring down
He
the
was a
government.
socialist.
And that's why the government scuppered the miners by buying coal from China, because it cost less than paying the miners what they were asking.
What about the people who lost their jobs? What about thousands of
Don't
people who
talk
lost their
about
jobs?
what you don't know.
We know.
I come here and I talk about what I know.
Listen, you bought the coal from Holland and from China, and thousands of people lost their job that time.
3 million people
and the British
unemployed,
steel was
Thatcher.
privatized.
And I'll tell you something else which is even more
3
poisonous.
million people
I still go up to the northeast,
But she was
and
a
if
great
you've ever seen Thatcher's children, it's them. They might spit her name, but boy, they're as materialistic and as far detached as the decent mining communities that they're always bang on about.
Because they
who
were
betrayed
destroyed by
than you
her.
can get.
Look,
They betrayed their own
Those
ancestors
decent
and their own
mining
country
communities
because they
were
are a pain in
destroyed
the
by the
neck.
woman who
Always
was
looking
here.
for money, holidays abroad, nice houses, cars,
Yeah.
competing with
We
each
know
other.
they
work for it.
They
They work for it.
demonstrate that it wasn't about anything to do with the miners. It was a straightforward right versus left battle, and Margaret Thatcher was representing what this country needed best.
No, she was the prime
And they
minister.
knew that.
She was the prime minister.
And she got rid of the
Are
unions,
you
and
mad?
they'll never forgive her.
Are you mad? It was 4 million
I
people out
repeat,
of work.
spot the lefty. Those who poisonously talk about Margaret Thatcher, you know their politics as soon as they open their mouth.
Anybody with
But look,
any
she-
compassion
Remember, you
or-
cannot hide.
Listen, according to Glenda Jackson, she said the
She's always been
Shut
known
up,
as a
let me
life
speak.
lefty.
Let me speak.
I'm the speaker.
Ali Abdi Hakla.
I'm not interested in what Glenda Jackson said.
Listen.
Glenda Jackson was a known lefty.
Listen, she was an MP and the people voted for her, right?
In London, of course.
No, in Hampstead and Kilburn.
Well, that's London, you idiot.
Well,
Irish
never
lad.
mind about London.
Kilburn, Irish
She
lad. You're the
represented
lefty.
the Irish. Yes. Look what she said. She said the shop doorway becomes the bedroom and the bathroom. What will you say to that?
Well, it's still the same, and Margaret Thatcher hasn't gone.
No, it's not the same. How many people are sleeping rough? Only the gypsies.
They've just moved on to other doorways.
No, that's the gypsies. No English. It's illegal to sleep on the doorway.
Exactly, they moved them all.
Ah, but under Mrs. Thatcher, there were 4 million unemployed and 100,000 sleeping rough around there.
Yep.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it hasn't
And
changed.
you agree to that?
Well done, and it hasn't
Well
changed.
done. You're
Hasn't
happy. You're very
Hasn't
happy.
changed.
It has changed.
Listen,
It has
I
changed.
will repeat. Margaret Thatcher was a person you either loved or hated.
No, nothing to do with love or hate. We're talking about the policy, what she implemented.
No, you are
Debate with
repeating
me.
somebody
I was
else.
here. Debate with
You
me.
are repeating something.
I'm not repeating nothing.
Then why did you mention Glenda Jackson?
Because Glenda Jackson, not only her, was 3 MPs who criticized her in the parliament. Because one of them represents the Southeast, as you say, the miners and the steel industry. Glenda Jackson was an actress, you know that. She became an MP and she represented her constituency, the Irish, which is almost 100,000 Irish lost their jobs. Yes? She
You
has the
shouldn't have been
right.
here. They could have gone back to
Why
Ireland.
they go back to Ireland? Why? Who told you this to do this?
Who says you can't go back to where you came?
No, because you.
Are we going to hold the world up for? Because
Yes.
you stay here.
You invaded Ireland for 400 years.
Wrong.
He was.
Wrong.
400 years. Oliver Cromwell. Do you know his history?
Oliver Cromwell?
Yes.
Yes, I do know my
Well, what he did to the Irish?
What did he do to the Irish?
Why he
I'll
did-
tell you what he did to the Irish.
Go on, tell us.
He stopped the Irish Catholics from making
He's
this country
pointing at you. It was you.
Catholic again.
Oh, no, no, no,
And he
no,
put a
no, no,
Protestant
no.
Shut up and let me talk.
Shut up.
The Roman Catholic
She doesn't know the
system
history.
never gives up. And when England kicked out the Roman Catholic system and brought in the Protestant, the Roman Catholic Church did not give up and go away, and it used the very amenable Irish Catholics to try and make their way into England and to turn this country back into Roman Catholicism.
Oh.
So Oliver Cromwell
what a load of
took
bollocks.
from mainland
I'm sorry, but
Britain
that's
a
absolute
contingent of Protestants and put them
Absolute
in Northern
nonsense.
Ireland.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's why
That
you've got
is
Protestant
such
Northern Ireland.
nonsense.
They were a buffer between
Talk
the
about
troublemaking
rewriting
Irish
history.
Catholics and the Protestant British.
Why did he?
You see, the Irish don't like to think that there's any other side of the story except theirs. That's why they always play the victim. They are not victims, they are poisonous trouble.
They are not poisonous. Why did he send 40,000 to the war and never come back?
That's called war.
Oh, so why he didn't send the English? He sent 40,000 Irish.
Of course he sent the English.
No. Read history.
Which war was this then?
No. Well, you should know your English. I'm
We've
sorry.
had
now.
loads of wars. Which war are you talking about?
Look, you are English.
Oh,
you should
no,
know
don't
your
play that game with
history.
me.
You should know your history.
That is a cheap version of
No,
your
it's
side
not
of the Irish.
that cheap. I go to the British Library.
Which war did he send 40,000 Irish and nobody else?
First World War.
First World War?
Yeah.
And nobody else?
Nobody else. It was
You'll face judgment for that.
40,000 Irish gone, never come back.
Face judgment.
And there were over a
Oliver
million.
Cromwell, he was a nice
British-
guy.
No.
Never did anything wrong.
Listen. You don't.
Irish were the ones
Look,
you were-
if you send a foreigner to fight for you, you should be very happy to accommodate
They
them.
weren't foreigners then.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
Only foreigners now. Only foreigners now. Is that right?
You were under British rule.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Scotland,
You're a subject.
Wales,
Yeah.
England and Ireland. Only in 1922, wasn't
So,
it,
yeah.
that there was the settlement and Northern Ireland was made Protestant and
Ireland was
Southern
made
Ireland oh well, no, not where the Catholics go, because where the Protestants are, the Catholics are always there.
Oh, they're always there. Oh, those Catholics.
Never underestimate the evil of the Roman Catholic system, believe me. When you
Yeah.
turn your back on religion, you turn your back on knowing how evil works. You really
Where did
do.
the Protestants and Ulster come from? though?
I told you they were good put in there by Cromwell.
Put in there, yeah, they were put in there, yeah. So they didn't really have much of a claim to the place, did they?
No, and
put in there.
I was never on the side of the Irish Christian. The ones in Northern Ireland should have come back to the mainland.
But you're on their side now because there's a Catholic.
I just don't like the Irish mentality.
Oh, alright. I don't like your mentality.
I don't care.
Because you're very far right, you're very Teutonic. You remind me of the type of rhetoric that was espoused
Well,
in the
since this is
1930s
English, you can
in
always get
Germany.
out.
You know, in England. No, I'm very thankful for the fact that the majority of English people don't hold your views. Which
No, they're
I know-
just like you. They play your game. They're nice to your face.
Oh, really?
You're very naive.
really?
How do you think the English beat the Scots, the Welsh and the Irish?
Why do
By
they all-
playing the game
why do they all
and giving
listen
you what
to,
you
Terry
wanted
Wogan
and then
for
taking
years?
over. You
Huh?
can't have it both ways.
Huh?
You can't play the victim and then deny us the fact that we're cleverer than
I'm
you.
the victim, I'm just arguing a point with you.
No,
If you don't
the
know
fact
your
of the
history-
matter is the English have always proved that the clever in you counts. Otherwise, we wouldn't have conquered you and you wouldn't be the victims of
That's
it.
more nonsense as well.
See, you can't have it both ways.
For a start, your queen is German.
That doesn't make any less the fact that the English are cleverer than you and we
But
beat
who are
you.
the English then?
I'm talking to you as an Irishman coming from Ireland, the same with the Scots and the Welsh.
But
That is a fact you don't want to make
The only way
believe.
you know I'm Irish.
You can't you're not victims anymore because life's too good.
I spoke in English.
And so you can't handle the fact that I can say to you very clearly, the reason why we made you subjective was that we were clever than you.
Why do so many English people of Irish ancestry, so many, celebrity English people, high-profile English people, James Callaghan, your former Prime Minister,
Well, you
Terry Wogan,
you
Sir
Irish
Terry
will breed
Wogan,
with anybody.
Sir Bob Geldof.
You Irish will breed with anybody.
We breed with anybody.
Of course
really.
you will.
Yeah, really.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. And where did
Because
come-
you don't recognise identity. Well, you're always on about Ireland, but you never live there. You're just all giving the blarney about Ireland.
Well, so who
and
lives
you
in
go
Ireland
around
then?
the world spreading your seed.
who does
So
live
of
in
course you
Ireland?
produce Irish offspring.
Who does live in Ireland?
I don't really care.
How
It's
would you
just
know?
not enough Irish do, and that if they did, they would go out of England.
Not enough Irish live in Ireland, really.
Good afternoon,
That is
Miss Diane.
absolute bollocks.
Mrs. Diane.
My
Why are you
concern
arguing
is-
with the Irish
When
people?
I deal with an Irishman, I'll deal with him on an Englishwoman's terms, not yours.
The Irish are nice people.
What about two?
Well, go to Ireland and live there.
You can't drink tea without the Irish milk.
What about two Irish people have a child?
Now you say to him, go back.
That child is
Give him his
That child
milk
is
back.
No, our child is always Irish.
So who is the ultimate English person?
It's none of your Irish business.
No, but you're
Well, you get it in your big head.
England, blah, blah, blah.
You're absolutely lost about race. It just shows you how far away you are from your mate.
How far the English are?
Who are English?
But you're the one who's created the distance. So
Who are
you're going to
English
have to
people?
make it up again.
You're gonna dwindle your population down to very, very few if you just.
There are not many English. Normans, Danes, Saxons, Vikings are not English. They're just anglicised
So who are
invaders.
the original English then?
So you English, I am English.
But you believe in continental drift, yes?
I don't believe in something
England,
that happened.
continental Europe, all were together. So more or less we're the same race, we're the same people. We belong to the same piece of land.
Rubbish.
Or just over time,
Rubbish.
your creator decided to shift them apart.
Rubbish. We come from tribes.
Oh, tribes, yeah, that's very,
The original
very progressive.
races were tribes.
Very
And they were
6,000
all
6,000
allocated a
years
piece
back.
of earth
Oh,
each
you're
of them.
6,000
You're
years
going
ago,
back into
all
this
the
Israel.
continents that was together.
Much earlier than
The
that.
continents that was together. Who is the English?
Yeah.
Go back 6,000 years.
Well, the English know and God
The
knows.
land
That's all
was
I have.
together. There was no sea
Your
outside.
problem is you.
People
And your
6,000 years they
creator.
have no
How
boat.
do you know there's
They
no,
was living
there's no drop of
together.
contaminated blood in your genetic makeup? How do you know you're pure English?
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about.
For me, you look,
No, you don't.
you from
This is again the
Africa.
arrogance of you people.
Your
You can't
nose is
tell
too
you're
big.
saying I don't know. And that's why
English
you're so
people
ignorant.
have small
Because
nose.
you learn when you say I
I
don't
can
know.
kind of trace my family tree back a few generations. How far can you trace yours back?
I'm not trying to look for it.
But then you assert that I'm English, I'm verifiably true,
Yeah,
100%
because I know what race is. You haven't a clue. Because
Maybe
you're Irish.
1,000 years.
That's a
2000
true response. You want to give me like.
No, it's an alien response to you because you can't comprehend the concept.
Okay, you're saying you're 100% English. There's no doubt about it. You're true, verifiable. Trace your history back, and you can vouch for the fact that you are uncontaminated English.
Vouch to who? I don't go around giving people my credentials.
Well, I'm saying,
I know who I
are
am.
you saying yes
you,
or no?
if you
to
don't
that?
believe
Are you
me, that's
saying
not
yes or
my
no?
problem.
Are you saying yes or no?
I'm not accountable
All
to
those
people.
days
Even
and
the
Saxons
English guy
and
was
Normans.
only
You're
500 years ago.
You're doing what your
500
kind of
years.
people do. You're trying to prove to other people the credential of who you are.
No, I'm trying to pick apart
When
the
you are
nonsense
true
and
to who
bullshit
you
that you're
are,
talking.
the last thing you care about is what people think. You're too busy being true to who you are.
I don't care what any of these
To
people
spend
think.
time saying,
I'm asking
well, I'm
you a
this
question.
and I'm this and I'm
I
that.
finished
You're
my
the
sentence.
exercise
You're the one who cares
You
about where
want
people are
somebody
from
to give you
or whether they have
permission.
a right to stand on the ground
Race
of this land.
is. You can't get away from it. You can only ignore it and then entangle it. When you don't do that
Who
and you're
are you?
conscious,
I am happy
holding
here.
on to it,
Who are
I'm
you?
you don't
going
have a
nowhere.
problem.
Who are
It's
you?
not a
I'm enjoying the
conversation.
weather.
Inhabit this country. Who are you to say who can inhabit this country?
Someone whose birthright is this country before all.
Oh!
How are you on
If the mother from Cuba and the father from
Get that
ISIS,
into
can
your
we call
thinking.
him Ice Cube?
You're having a good time with politicians these days.
Would you
But
answer?
this is an ordinary person
Would you-
thinking to
would you answer?
And all your blarney, and most of them are Celts anyway.
blarney,
So you're just
yeah.
getting from your own kind anyway. England hasn't bent towards you. The English still have the memories of your poisonous, cowardly killing. So don't be naive enough to think
Irish
because
still
the
have the memories
politicians
of
are
yours,
nice
let me
to
tell
you.
you.
Just because the politicians are nice to you.
I like
do
the
not
weather.
be stupid enough to think that history's wiped
Let's
out.
face facts, okay? Let's
Fact is what I'm talking to you about.
I'm
People,
talking-
real people, not this.
I asked you the question.
Not wiping away
I
the
asked you a
past.
question. If you don't want it from an Irish mouth, you can hear it from an English mouth, maybe. But what gives you the right? to
Don't
say
you understand?
who-
You are too young
who
for her.
can
She
inhabit
looking
this
for
land?
good
What
husband.
gives you that right?
The Almighty Creator.
Oh. Almighty
How come?
Creator.
Has
Well,
he- has he
last 5 years
articulated that
you
to you?
say Jesus.
The Almighty Creator has
Well, I got
articulated
news
that
to you.
Has he? And where has he?
The Creator doesn't work according to the Irish. That's why you're the ones who are always
Oh, yeah.
dependent on somebody else.
I tell you what, can you
so
give
to give
me
you
an
an
answer without using
would
my
give me the
nationality
implication that the Creator wants to please you.
Can you
I
give me
don't
an
think
answer without
so.
using my nationality
It's
as a
about time you
basis for
started pleasing the
diversity?
Creator.
Can you give me an answer without using my nationality as a basis for diverting?
You can't get past your nationality. Nobody can. You are carrying thousands of years of identity with you, and no measly words of permission from a
it's so heavy,
politician
this
is going to
identity.
change that. That's how you are so stupidly naive.
No, it's not. The eyes are not stupid. No.
And the same applies for you.
No, I'm not stupid.
Well, Algeria's never
No, I
actually
got
been-
a British passport. You
Of the
can do
Creator.
nothing.
Your Creator, okay?
I'm
Your-
British.
Your British passport will be your
why did he
destruction.
create?
Well, you have the same right as me.
Create these nationalities that you're so.
You have the same right as me. You got the
You
British
wouldn't
passport. I have the British
You're on the
passport.
losing
Try me.
side.
Try me.
You're on the
Try
losing
me.
side.
Try me. Give me the explanation.
Diana, we have 5 terminals.
Because I own you.
You should shut down the
No,
terminal.
no. You're the conduit for this creator that you keep talking about. So I'm asking you.
You'll find
I'm asking
out.
Your creator.
You'll find out. You'll find out.
Why the problem with the
You
Irish
are
and the
on a
Jews,
journey,
et cetera, et
and you're
cetera?
going to find out everything.
Sounds
I'm
like
not wasting my breath on
very
you.
xenophobic creator. If you ask me.
You can use all the words you like. You're just demonstrating you haven't got a clue what racial identity and responsibility
Why are you
is.
worried about
Because
that?
you're
All right, okay, then enlighten me.
Every word
Enlighten
you
me.
say.
Why are you
Enlighten me
worried
about
about that?
racial identity then.
I can't put what's not there.
What? Oh, right, so you can't instruct anything.
You're an alien as far as I'm concerned.
Alien. And you?
Do you believe in aliens?
It was a word I used. That's all.
That's a word you use, okay. Well, as an alien, may I ask you a question? I enjoy living in this country. I've chosen.
Well, that's it. Isn't that the sum total?
I like the English weather.
I enjoy living in this country.
I hold no-
And that is the mentality. That's it then. Everybody else
cast
has
off-
to step
I
back
cast
and let
off
it.
the
Yeah, I
weight of
like the
history
weather.
and all that nationalist, jingoist nonsense. that
No,
you go on
you're
with.
a little Irish traitor who wants to.
No, it's not true. You live in
He wants a
Cuba.
foot in Ireland and a foot in England. How now? There's something new. There's nothing new in that, is
Correct.
it?
What do you mean foot? And I have no connection with my country. I live here now.
No, you
my
don't.
home.
No, you
Yes.
I've lived here for 5 years.
don't. No, you don't.
He speaks only
No, you
English.
don't.
His
I'll give you my
homeland.
address if you want.
You are
Just don't
physically
talk.
not living in this
What
country.
do you mean I'm not living here?
Because for the one thing.
Well, I'm existing here.
No,
I know.
for the very reason that you're the wanderer who goes all over the world.
The happy wanderer.
No, the trouble.
Are you happy here? Excuse me.
delighted
Are
to
you
be
happy?
here.
Everybody happy. So what is your problem?
Why are you not happy?
We are
Because
happy
I
here. We
stand
enjoy the
Because I'm
weather.
Irish and I live here.
You represent the forces of chaos. Very simple. It's a very simple war. You are just so twisted you don't get
I
it.
represent forces
And
of
because
chaos.
there's so many of you, you actually think you don't have to get it.
Why-
There is
why-
no safety
How
in
do I
numbers.
represent the
Every
forces
one
of
of you is an
chaos?
individual who chooses what side you want.
How do I
But
represent
every
the
one of you
forces of
has got a
chaos?
racial, you are male or female, and you have a personal identity, and that is not one thing you
You know
can
what?
get away from.
The witch is dead! And you be next!
How do I represent the forces of chaos? Please? Can you explain that to me? How do I represent, as an Irish person living in Britain, how do I represent?
Have you got a brain?
Yes, I do.
Very hard to
I wouldn't be
believe.
speaking about it.
No, quite the opposite.
That's biological function.
We have a saying in this country, empty vessels make the most noise.
And you proved that point very
No,
well.
I've been determined to speak despite your Irish drivel going
I'm
on ever
asking
since
you
you
a
turned up
question.
here.
You're part of
You've
this
been
country.
asking me questions ever since you got here because you have no respect.
Very brave.
You're part of this
You have no
country.
respect for the fact that I'm a speaker because you're being true to your Irish troublemaking ways.
You're speaking, you're telling us all, this is how you must live.
And you are nobody's representative. You are speaking for
As
yourself,
a very
nobody
curious
else.
listener, I'm just asking you a simple question.
And everybody else can listen, but they can keep their mouths shut.
And
That's
the response is
you are.
you refuse to give me a response based on my nationality.
And you don't get the message that I refuse to give
An
it.
argument about,
And I will not
you're
change.
Irish
And I will not change.
Puerto Blah, blah, blah.
And I will not change.
I'm asking about your creator.
And I will
that
not
you-
change.
Your creator.
You
that
see how thick he is? Still
You
he
see
keeps
this
coming out.
arrogance, so I will not change, I will not change. If your creator cherishes humanity,
Who says the creator cherishes humanity? Humanity is the creator's greatest enemy.
why did
You
you bother
decided
fucking
there is
creating
no
us then in the
creator
first place?
and
So
decided that
He kind of fucked up on that one, didn't he? If he made humanity, he created humanity, and he hates it, does he?
There's plenty of you don't give a fuck
kind of a
about God,
Dr.
but when it's chips
Frankenstein,
down,
this
it's God
creator you're
help me.
talking
I don't think so.
This creator
you get what you
he's
give.
a bit of a Dr.
You give the
Frankenstein,
Almighty
is he?
nothing, when the time comes you
He's
get
up there
nothing.
scratching his
God
head going,
justice.
what did I do? Make
You've
these
all got
people,
this
you know?
idea that as you go around shafting your little ego, there's a God up there sometimes. If you need
Why do
him, if you
people have to
really
remain
need
in
him,
the
he'll be
place they
there
were
for you.
born?
Forget it.
Why do people have to
Grow up.
remain in the
You
place they
get
were
what you
born?
give. You want to be godless, rebellious, and destructive. Then when the time comes that you need the Creator's help, then you're on your own. You chose it. Remember?
Well, he wouldn't be a very reliable person.
All
to
of
ask
this
for help if
drivel
he
that
made a
goes around
mistake in the
about
first
God
place by
loves you.
creating. But he-
God loves you conditionally. You respond. That's what you do with love. You respond to love. You don't
Do
go
you
around
respond
saying,
to love?
oh, like, God loves me, I can do what I like, and then when I need him, he'll be there for me.
I'm
I
asking a
don't
question
think
again.
so.
You're a creator.
I really don't
Who
think so.
responds to
Why do you think the
love?
world's in chaos? Because it's the devil? I don't think so. It's because the
world
Almighty's
isn't
saying to you,
chaos.
you
The
want
world has always
chaos, you
been
can
in
have
chaos,
it.
really.
And if it destroys you, well, tough. It's your problem.
There's always been conflict. There's always been trouble.
And the sun will rise and the sun will set and the tide will
Won't
ebb
change
and flow because that's the creation at work.
That's science at work, yeah.
Man is obsessed with himself as he destroys everything and anyone that gets in his way. And all he's doing is making the increase of his own destruction come nearer and nearer. And there won't be an ounce of sympathy, believe me, for the destroyers. It will be called justice.
And who are the blessed? English. Who are the damned?
There are plenty of damned English, believe me.
Oh, okay.
Because this country wouldn't have been in the state it's in if the English had cared more for England than keeping the foreigners happy. Dancing to the tune.
Keeping the foreigners
So
happy,
it is in
yeah.
every
That we
other
went and
country.
invaded.
Almighty God's never made a foreigner.
They can't be
There'll
an
be no
empire.
foreigners in the
Don't
new
go to other
creation.
people's countries.
There'll be no
Yeah.
victims. There'll be no war. There'll
What
be
about
no
your own
lies. There'll be
country?
no money.
What about
There'll
your
be
own
nothing
country?
of your artificial war because that's the
About a
reason why there's a
quarter of
new
Africa.
world coming.
Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Ireland, the Caribbean. What about your own country? They're not culpable for moving into other places? You're talking about foreigners coming here. What about the English in the first place?
I don't defend the English who go somewhere else. The foreigners like you.
So you're only
This
saying...
is about England, not the English. The English are getting everything they deserve.
So the only people who will get through the pearly gates are the English.
Pearly
who
gates,
stay
how
in England.
religious.
Whatever kind of
You know,
stuff.
why don't you Irish acknowledge you are religious cripples? You talk to you about God. Is that the Catholic God or the Protestant God?
I don't give a shit about either of them. Because I'm neither
And you
Catholic,
want-
not Protestant, not Christian, not Jew, not
Pearly
Muslim,
gates,
right?
I think you are.
No, it's a phrase. Get over
No,
it.
it's
An
not.
idiom.
It's you
an idiom.
expressing
It's
yourself.
an idiom. It's an idiom, okay? It's a very regularly used phrase.
You know the greatest judgment you
Synonymous for
face
heaven or the afterlife,
is you
whatever
will
you
not
wanna call
take
it.
responsibility for your own
So let's
actions.
put it this way,
That
right?
is the most evil thing about
Are
you
you
people.
saying, have you ever traveled abroad? Have you ever left this country? Yes or no? Simple answer. Have you ever left this country?
I owe nothing to you.
But you're saying, yeah.
I said I don't. I owe nothing.
The crowd that is assembled around you, they're coming up with this doctrine
It's
that
not about
people
that.
shouldn't come here. People shouldn't be wanderers. Have you ever travelled abroad? Yes or no?
I am not talking about that.
Tell me.
You are not. You are, by your own admission, you've lived in this country 5 years.
Yeah.
Therefore, this is not about being on holiday.
No, but
this is about you staking a claim in a country you don't belong in.
I'm
Going
part
on
of this
holiday
society.
is a very different thing.
I pay taxes. I'm part of this
I'm sick of. I don't care about what you think. It's about what your maker expects of you.
So you're
That's the
against-
whole thing that's missing from you,
Have you ever travelled?
and mostly from every Irish person.
Here we go, the old... I can't answer a question
Let's
because
get
you're
one
Irish.
thing straight. You
Have
are
you
representing your
travelled
race.
abroad? Right.
You can't get away from your racial
Have you ever
responsibility.
wandered?
Every one of you is an
We know you've
ambassador.
travelled within England because you're from the northeast. Have you travelled overseas?
Glad it's us representing our race and not you.
Well, that's a different matter from my perspective. You're the race wipers out. Because you're
Race
anybody.
wipers out. What exactly is that?
Well, look at you, your global uniform, your idea that being nice to everybody while your own country slips out of your own fingers and you've done nothing to get it in the first place anyway, except sell your own people down the line. I think that where I'm standing from, I can feel much more disgust about what you are doing than what you feel about me because I'm not being very nice.
So what
anything else
exactly
to
is
sell?
that we're doing?
Nothing, that's the point.
Nothing.
Absolutely
Is he
nothing.
selling anything else?
Do you do anything to keep your own house
Drugs,
tidy?
guns?
Yes, of course it is.
Of
It's
course
just
you do. Then
people-
why don't you do the same thing for this country?
What do you suggest he do?
Oh, it
What do you
doesn't need
suggest he
tidying,
do
does
to
it
keep
not?
his country clean?
No.
Are you talking about ethnic cleansing? Is it?
Kill him.
Milosevic, Hitler. Is that what you're advocating? We should all become people who say
Excuse me.
one nation, one race,
Let's get
one
one
people.
thing straight
Not
here.
Carl type
Let's
talking,
get
is
one
it?
thing
The rivers
straight.
of blood type
all
thing,
of these,
is it?
all of these people you talk about, all these ethnic cleansers, you need to understand they could not have taken one life if the Creator had not allowed
So you're an
it.
apologist for
That is the
apologist
whole
for ethnic
point.
cleansing.
No, I am getting across to you that while you go about people, individuals, it is the Almighty who holds life and death in His hands.
This creator that
That's
you're talking
what I'm
about.
warning
This
you.
creator that you're on about, okay?
That's what
They
I'm
say,
warning you
"Oh,
about.
these
There's
people
only
couldn't
one
have been
killer
killed."
of mankind,
Surely if you had the
and it's
power
the one
to
who
do all that
created
killing.
mankind.
You have the power to stem immigration.
And what I'm warning you of is your coming destruction by the same one who created you, and the reasons why. All I can do, your life is your responsibility, but it's a gift given to you from outside of yourselves by the one who put you here.
So when you see people...
Treat that carelessly, and believe me, I've given you all the warnings I can. If you want to carry on strolling through this world as if it belongs to you, then I have no sympathy, I have no conscience, because I tried to warn you to wake up.
When someone gets...
And if you think I am rude and not nice, well, I think I can live with that, because sadly, I don't respect you enough to care what I think of you.
Well, thank you for informing us. But is it our earth life or is it the life beyond? Is there a life?
They're all intertwined.
They're all intertwined.
Because we are spiritual beings temporarily in a physical body. When we take our final breath, the spirit that's been in our body will step into eternity to the next stage of our existence. In a condition that we brought it into by how we lived on this earth.
Which is a noble thing to, it's a good belief.
Oh, spare me the claptrap words. Life is not about
He was
words.
on your side for a second there.
I'm trying to figure, I'm trying to align myself with your reasoning because I can't really, there's a lot of contradictions that I'm
And
just
what are
trying
you using to get there?
I'm just trying to ask.
What are you using to get there? What are you using within yourself to get there?
I don't understand.
Brain, maybe.
My brain, my
Your brain?
reasoning,
Well, you'll never find out what I'm saying by your brain.
my spiritual.
Honestly, yeah, that's become very clear.
And
You aren't using your
spiritual
brain, yeah.
being- Your spiritual
That's for sure.
being
That's
will
for sure.
never ever be able to help you until you put your intellect in second place.
Do you realise you have a white-only audience today?
You'll find out, won't you?
That's not a great answer.
I know you
Come
want
on,
to know.
you're the
Find out,
messenger.
you'll find out.
You're the messenger. You're the messenger. You can't really convince people if you come out
You
with
haven't a
glib
clue about
responses
life,
like
have
Do you
that.
like, Diane, do you like Irish
Don't put it
people?
onto me. I want it back onto you.
We've been there.
Yeah,
done
you've
that.
been there.
Ad nauseum.
Deal with life.
Do you like Welsh rabbits?
What you're not going to do is standing here on a Sunday afternoon. It's a lifetime's purpose.
Well, if
You
we
said
haven't-
earlier
if we
you're
haven't met you, then
doing
we
some
wouldn't-
sort of
Do you realise that white people take you seriously?
you're doing some sort of apologising for ethnic
asking
cleansing.
from a-
It's in the
from a spiritual
creator
Oh, shut up, Richard.
allowed
Shut up, you paddy.
I'm trying to approach you on the spiritual level. Why is our lives on earth if we're mixed race?
Useless.
Why? How does that affect my spiritual being? If me meeting other people,
I tell you why.
enhances my.
It's because you got blacks living in your country.
Because
That's why.
you're presuming that what you are doing is the better thing. When in actual fact, most people don't even focus in on their own people, their own culture. You can't say something is good or even better until you have tried both. And you are all such natural wanderers, believing that that's the way life is, to meet up with everyone from anywhere, then you cannot comprehend the reality of what your ancestors and what real life is meant to be. That you can't develop your own identity unless you develop through the people who are like yourself first. We are all meant to respect each other's race, but not by living in each other's pockets and taking the rights of one in order to get it for ourselves.
Diane, why
In
don't
the
you like
world,
black
there is
people?
meant to be respect for everything that has life. Not a dominance, and not a majority vote, and not a minority. persecution. It is meant to be
Minority persecution.
In that, there has to be an awareness that we earn respect.
Minority
we can't
persecution.
expect respect because that's how it's done. There's nothing in expecting respect. The case is like everything. You get something and reward something by what you earn.
You said something earlier about ethnic cleansing.
none of the, so the races should keep, the ethnicity should keep within themselves and work on finding their
Not
root.
only that, you
That's
said-
what they used to do.
No, but that's to develop your proper, develop your proper identity and your proper spiritual.
That's how it
being.
used to be until 200 years ago.
Yeah, so but you're not saying we're not talking about one set of ethnicities being better than others.
I
We're
never
all-
said that.
That's
No,
not
so
how
we're
it
all,
was
we're all the
200
same.
years
but
ago either.
we should enhance.
What a load of
Each to
nonsense.
his own, actually. Each to his own country.
Yes.
We should stay with our own tribe.
Our own tribes. Yeah, there's tribes we're talking about. We're not talking about countries.
You see,
or boundaries.
that's right.
We're talking about. We're talking
I
about.
couldn't agree less with you.
Yes, so you keep telling so. Let this young man
I couldn't
talk.
agree less with you. This.
Listen, he's talking, okay? Listen,
Sorry,
you
you're
talk,
right.
I'm talking to him.
Right.
No, I'm just asking. I'm just trying to think because you're very. I'm just trying to understand your point because when you're going on, it seems like you're very hostile towards everyone who's here listening to you, and
And
it's
I'm not going to deny that I am.
okay. But by that you are communicating that you perceive yourself as having more value, or English having more values than the Irish or the others.
No, you shouldn't say that.
No, it
I
sounds
will,
like
I
you
do.
actually-
In England, I do.
Yes, in England.
That's why this country's called England. It's the birthright of the English
Of the
people.
English.
So how about
That's why
the
there's a
Welsh?
place called
no, the-
Ireland.
oh, no, the Irish.
It's
No,
what
do you
the,
make-
seen as the
do you
birthright
make
of the
an
Irish
exception as
people.
I do?
And then to come swanning into somebody else's country and say what you've got is what you've got, and what I've got is what I've got, is something that, yes, it does make me
We all have
blazing
to share
mad.
one
And
life.
I will say so.
No, we all have to share
And I
this
don't
life.
mind being interpreted as hostile or anything. Because the sheer aspect of what's yours is what's mine, is what's mine's my own, or you can have it if I want to give
No,
you it.
200 years ago it was.
Horrific.
But Dan, excuse me. I mean,
No, I won't excuse you because you attack this every time you turn up.
200 years ago, we the British
Get
raided
your
the rest
own
of
stand.
raided the world. That's what we did.
No, you are not British to start with.
And no country stands on its own.
You are not British to start
What
with.
am I? I was born in Reading, but I don't know what I
It's
am.
not about where you're born, it's about what country you're
Right,
in.
okay.
And you are not British.
Okay.
You are an immigrant, of immigrant stock.
Oh, well, are we all are?
Here we
No,
go
no,
again.
No, we
Oh,
all,
here we go
all
again.
English people.
No.
All English people.
No.
Are.
No.
We come from French. We come from Germans. We often
You
come
have
from
a
the
we,
Indus Valley.
and we don't.
We're often some Middle Eastern blood.
Oh, I
Listen,
know. I know.
you are not
And isn't
being
it-
Jolting,
and
that's
isn't
all.
it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? We have this. We have this universality.
And that is a mongrel
Isn't it wonderful?
speaking.
Diversity.
We're all
That is a mongrel
And how
speaking.
wonderful to be a
And he
mongrel.
wants everybody to
Mongrels
be
are
mongrel
healthy.
because he cannot comprehend a racial identity. He's
You
only
make-
taken
you
it
make-
for granted
you
by
make-
being British.
I-
and that's what's
my
coming to an
children would- my
end. Because
children
the
have
whole
their
world
mates
thinks they can
with
be
someone from
British,
elsewhere.
even though they've already got a country that they're not really interested in because they're too busy
Where
wanting
would
to be
you-
here.
Where would you send me to then?
That's your journey, not mine. You're
Well,
going
I
to meet
mean-
your maker of who he created you
But
to
no,
be.
but I've travelled all over the world, in this way and that way. all
Yes,
over.
and you're responsible for that.
Well, of course
You
I'm
were not
responsible. I'm so
created.
relieved
You were not
that-
created to
You
wander.
must come with me next time. Come with me next time and we'll open your eyes.
It's people like
Come
you
to
that
India.
cause havoc in the
Come to, you
world.
come to India with me.
You walk around
Right,
as if
in November, you come to India with
you
me.
walk
I'll show
around
you
as
the
if the
world.
earth belongs to all of us, and it doesn't. That is nothing but a communist
We're all of the
mentality.
same DNA.
And you're just another
We all
poison
belong
left.
to one another.
You're
All of
another
these people are
poison
mine,
left.
are your brothers and sisters and my brothers and sisters. And we should be very, very proud of it.
This is a communist left, nothing else.
When the English went to Ireland, the Irish people didn't want them there, but the English people still went out of their country to another country.
Well, it was their problem,
and
not yours.
and not for holiday. So how is
And who
that?
made you the judge of history?
No, I'm not the judge of
Then mind your own
history.
business. He's the one I'm dealing with. You mind your own business.
Oliver Cromwell killed thousands of
So surely it's our problem if people are coming into this country. If it's the Irish problem that we went over there, surely it's our problem that people are coming to this country.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but you don't face it as a problem because you don't even respect history. You're just happy to take us as the villains and let everybody.
So
come
what
in.
should we do? Ethnically
You're
cleanse
the
the
doormats,
country?
and that's why this country's a
What's your
third world
solution?
nothing.
Same solution. Well, same
And there's no no fear of our enemies from your lot, because you're anybody. That is not the English identity.
This is a third world country.
Mind your own business.
This is not a third world country.
Mind your own business.
Can we go back to the spirit?
I would like to, sir.
Can you
Choose your friend.
How come you like him? I don't know anyone of you.
That's your son?
He's English.
Can you enhance your own spirit by, if you know yourself, can you enhance it by meeting others?
You might have a
In the
conference.
meeting with others? Are you enhancing your spirit by informing us about this? No.
Right, okay.
I'm doing what I'm called to do.
You are called to.
When were you called?
Remember, we have a conscience,
Yes.
which is a force within us that impels us one way or
Yes.
another. It's not necessarily that truth or lies.
No.
It depends how much you are involved in it.
Yes.
The more you go on and listen to
Diana, your adopted son is here.
the broader the conscience will work within you. And so, yes, conscience demands of me personally
Yes.
to come here and warn you
Yes.
of what they need
Because you're
to
here
start thinking.
tirelessly. You're here every Sunday.
That's right.
I've heard you speak several Sundays.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And good for her.
Yes, well done you.
Right, going back to spirituality,
Yeah.
which is, let's move back from the people aspect,
Yeah.
okay? Spirituality is, as I say, something that flows through us, and therefore it is not enhanced by being with people.
No. So it
It is about encouraging solitude within yourself,
Okay.
so that your spirit has the strength to be heard.
So your spirit is heard. What is so the spirit and our earthly lives are not.
Shut up.
We're not supposed to.
You eat the point in
We're not supposed to. Are we not supposed to learn from each other, or to? We're supposed to learn from our own race, our own ethnicity, and that's how we can. That's how we can truly appreciate our own.
You can't learn anything but facts from other people.
How do you learn good
can
from
learn
bad?
Example.
How do you
The
learn
whole
what the
point
good
is
is, the right
that
thing to do?
everything you're talking about is reducing the power of the conscience within you. The spirit within us belongs to God. We are never separated from God. That's why we have life. And that is why when we address the reality of the spirit within us, then we are activating and opening up the communication with God. Right?
Of course
He's
you can
already put it
learn
within
And
everyone.
are you classifying him as is it what God is he? Is it a spiritual?
What ethnicity?
Yeah. Is it a higher? Is it just a spiritual?
The English
being, or is it
God?
the Protestant God, the Catholic God.
Spiritual being.
It's the spiritual.
Yeah.
The spirituality.
You see, there is the aspect of some people believe, like the Hindus and the Buddhists, there's
Yeah.
spiritual power everywhere.
Everywhere.
Right. And it's true. But the Creator has a mind and a character, right?
Okay.
Which is why we have mind and character. Right?
Okay.
And therefore, it's about, as I say, opening up the communication
She thinks she's a convert, I think.
familiarise ourselves and get to know the character of our Creator. Okay? And in so doing, because we are also an aspect of the Creator,
Yeah.
we'll also get to know ourselves.
So
This is Hindu philosophy, man.
No,
So by mixing, we are closing down our communication with God because we're not.
Even though he created all people.
communication with God is vertical,
Yeah.
right? The more you mix roundabout, horizontal, then the more you're closing off. the
So
vertical.
okay.
Okay?
But-
And that is why most people now are more concerned with people and this world. And when I talk to them about God, they can't comprehend because they've created their strength horizontally rather than vertically. And I am saying that whatever judgment is coming is going to come vertically, not horizontally.
But the Hindus or the other tribes around the world who've got great spirituality, they will then be judged by their spirituality.
No, nobody's judged by their spirituality. They're judged with what they do with their spirituality.
Yes. So if
Anybody can have beliefs, but how they live their beliefs
Yes.
is the challenge that we're going to face.
whatever your approach to the spirituality is, my question is if it's Muslims or Hindus or tribes, as long as they identify the spirituality, the spirits, and they have a good communication with them. No.
it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. So if a devoted Muslim or a devoted
I'll
Hindu.
remind you that religion was founded by man, not the creator.
No, but I'm saying
Religion reduced spirituality,
Yes, but
a
is it-
personal responsibility, into a group identity. And they are willing to fight over it. That cannot enhance their spirituality.
Okay.
And that is why what you have to stick with is the human condition,
Okay.
which in itself is divided into racial categories. And in those racial categories is an area for respect for each other, but also an outworking of the group identity spiritually with their creator. Okay? Which means that as you open up as a people who share the same identity, come from the same origins, then you become as one entity, like a person, right? And through that, the Creator works with you as a group, but with an individual character. It's why we talk about the English, the Africans. It is there. It is the group identity, right? And it comes from being created by the Creator and the spiritual life that that identity has. When it becomes negative, it's because that group has started to separate from its spiritual identity because it's taken on more of a religious identity.
But
And
Diana,
all of that is going to be reversed.
Diana, the English are made by Dutch and Germans, not by God.
I really don't care what you think the English are made by.
That is
That's
true.
not my problem.
It's a mixture between
I
Dutch
know who
and
I am.
Germans.
I know who the English race are. I know who every
but
race
it's a
is.
mixture
I'm not
of-
going to spend my time carping about your version of Englishness
Can a
or
black
anything
man
else.
call
because you said
Time
God
is
that made the
going.
race.
Time is ticking away.
No.
What about people that are kind of... So I live in some country and there's a dictator and he's threatening to kill me and I want to get out of this country because
Why
I'm
don't you
scared
stay and
my
fight?
life
Death is all you face.
So...
You know
like,
you're going to
people
die
that-
anyway. Why don't you die fighting
So
for something you're loyal
so
to?
refugees...
God's never created them. The power of loyalty is meant to be stronger than fear. Everything is meant that God creates is meant to be stronger than fear. That is why everybody who runs away is demonstrating that their fear is stronger than their faith that the God who made them
Well,
is
there's
powerful.
6 million Jews who died in
And
the
that
gas
is
chamber.
why
That's a serious
God
question.
let it happen. God let it happen. God let it happen.
So why?
So
You
is
must understand.
That mean Hitler is a
Get
messenger
away
then?
Man let it happen.
Get away from your idea that if there's a God, he's always on man's side. Almighty God is ruling his creation on his terms, either through chaos or order. It is his laws.
Very cool God.
When he's not
cool
asking
God.
for your good
Yeah,
opinion.
so
No, but
if
it's a
someone
well-
murders me tonight because I'm an Irishman living in England, that's their motive for murdering me, okay?
No, you're going to
Please
die
don't
anyway.
have that happen.
He created
Well,
death because man is
If
wicked.
someone does that, they're not culpable. They're only
Man is allowed
they're only
to kill
doing
people.
what the
If
Creator
God
has
doesn't
allowed
want you
them
to
do.
die,
Is that right?
nobody can kill you. End of story.
So how about-
You persist in
People
thinking that man
murder
has the
you.
first
How
right and the
about-
last,
how about
and
2
that is
million?
what sets you on
How
the
about
collision
2
course with your
million
maker.
Jewish children?
You can go through the whole
died
lot.
in the Holocaust.
You can go through the
How
whole
can you
lot.
say
They
that?
died before because
let it
Almighty
happen.
God let
Well,
it.
I'll tell you what.
He's not
I'll tell
looking
you
for your
what, I'll
good
tell you what, I'll
opinion.
tell you what.
This man is an arrogant, godless man.
If there's a God and God allowed that, then I despise God.
You're a
And we
sanctimonious.
all despise God for that. Do you understand?
Don't you drag
No, I
everybody
mean,
in
no, I
here.
mean that.
Sanctimonious
I mean that. If God allowed 2 million Jewish children to
Oh, get
die
off your
in the
high
gas
horse.
chambers, then I personally despise God. Don't you?
Big talk.
We all do. Of course we do.
Oh, shut up, you
Of
stupid.
course we do. How can you do otherwise? How can you do otherwise?
So it's God's will that these people died in the gas chambers. That was
No,
that
it's
happened.
God's will.
Or
It's
he
not
allowed
going
it.
to stop it happening.
He allowed it to happen.
You must be
Then
very
is it not
yeah.
true that
He's not a
God's
very
allowing
compassionate
people
God,
to
is
come
he?
into this
Very,
country
very
to spread out horizontally in this fashion? Is that not God's will and God allowing this to happen?
Right, let's take it a step further. Okay?
Is that how's that work?
People
Is that
like
the
What's
logic?
the point of God then?
Which people like this don't want because they work by their emotions. They want to feel that people. No, then listen and learn.
Well, what's the point of God?
Listen and
What's the point of God?
listen.
You tell me.
Listen.
Yes.
Shut that.
All right.
Shut up.
No, I will.
But just as a question of
She's
logic,
very right. She's a speaker.
No, it's not a question of
No,
logic.
I
it's
just wanna-
about the character of the creator.
I want to understand how
Okay.
how you think
Okay.
how you're trying to come across. here.
Whatever God permits, right? We cannot necessarily comprehend it. What we